The Associated Press now reports that Vice President Kamala Harris appears to have the backing of enough Democratic delegates to become the nominee.
So we are also hearing from President Joe Biden for the first time since his bombshell decision to drop out.
I know yesterday's news was surprising and it was hard for you to hear, but it was the right thing to do.
President Biden is still isolating with COVID, and he called into Kamala Harris's new campaign headquarters. There, the likely nominee says she's hitting the ground running.
So in the next 106 days, we have work to do. We have doors to knock on. We have people to talk to. We have phone calls to make. And we have an election to win.
We know that some lawmakers have started rallying around Kamala Harris, but some say it would be nice to see a new face.
Now, Governor Walz telling us another person could go for the nomination, but that's not likely. Now, he was speaking with our Esme Murphy. Governor Walz opening up on a wide range of topics, from who could potentially run to whether or not he could be picked for her running mate.
After August 1st, we'll start voting. Whoever gets the most votes and reach our threshold number becomes our nominee.
Are you being considered to be Kamala Harris's running mate?
I do not know that. I spoke with the vice president on Sunday, shortly after the announcement by President Biden, and she just made it clear that she wants to earn the endorsement.
So in the 24 hours after Biden dropped out, Harris raised $81 million, a record one-day fundraising haul. Now, that is evidence, Governor Walz says, of the enthusiasm of small donors and voters all around the country over the new likely Democratic presidential nominee. There's a new poll from CBS News and YouGov showing most Democratic voters support the president's decision.
Matter of fact, check out these whopping numbers here. Whopping 83% say they would approve of Biden dropping out of the race. And then also, look here, 45% say they think it gives Democrats a better chance at beating Donald Trump come November.
Now, as for who should take the top of the ticket, that is not much of a question. 79% of voters here had said that the party should nominate a Vice President Kamala Harris. 39% said it made them more motivated to vote, right up there. Now, here in Minnesota, voters still processing President Biden's decision to drop out of the race and endorse his VP.
Yeah, but many questions still remain as to who Harris is as a presidential candidate. So we want to check in with our Pauline Lee, who joins us right here in the studio, taking a closer look. Pauline.
Hey guys, yeah, so many know her as, of course, the Vice President of the United States, a former prosecutor, and California's first female, Black, and South Asian Attorney General. But where does she stand on the issues most important to voters as a presidential candidate? Now, among the top issues in this year's election, you have the economy, inflation, immigration, reproductive rights, as well as the war in Gaza. During Minnesota's presidential primary back in March, you'll remember 19% of Democrats voted uncommitted. So whoever becomes the Democratic nominee going to have to fight for their votes as well. Harris may be racking up endorsements along party lines, but a number of Minnesotans tell us she's still relatively unknown.
I don't really know her policies at all, you know, like it's like, I mean, I know she's like the vice president under like Biden, but like outside of that, like I don't really know like anything about her.
I honestly need to research a lot more, and that's my plan.
All right, now the Harris campaign is all about raising money and getting support from political voters. And she still doesn't have an online website of any sort that outlines her priorities as a presidential candidate. So voters are really going to have to rely on those campaign stops like the one today in Milwaukee, upcoming debates as well, just to hear her stance on policy issues, guys.
Yeah, so got a lot of ramping up to do. All right, Pauline Lee, we appreciate it. Thank you. Other headlines we're following this morning: Mike Lindell's MyPillow could face eviction from another one of its Twin Cities buildings. A landlord's lawsuit alleges the company is nearly $450,000 behind in rent payments. The building in Shakopee houses a warehouse and outlet store for the company. Lindell told WCCO that his company, quote, has this resolved, end quote, although there have not been any corresponding court filings to confirm that. We have reached out to the landlord's attorney, have not received a response. Back in March, a judge evicted MyPillow from another building in Shakopee. There is a virtual court hearing scheduled for the case at 8:30 this morning.
We do have an update to a case that we have been following. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, the BCA, silently released all of the records related to the shooting of Ricky Cobb II. They released these yesterday. Now, he was the man who was shot and killed during a traffic stop in July of 2023. Trooper Ryan Londergan, he's the man who pulled the trigger, has since faced a lot of backlash, including murder charges from Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty, although those charges have been dropped. Documents will reveal more on the investigation and how investigators decided on Londergan's innocence. We will be poring over those nearly 1,500 pages of documents over the next few days, and we'll let you know what we find.
Today is day 20 of the Minneapolis Park workers' strike. Workers will be picketing at Lindale Farmstead Park. That starts at 5:45, so just a couple of minutes from now. Workers say they want to get back to work. They're ready to accept the wage offer, even though it's less than what they wanted. But they say the board is trying to break up their union. This afternoon, workers will hold a petition canvass at Father Hennepin Bluff. That's taking place from 2 to 8 p.m. Historic rainfall and flooding last month that caused failures at dams in Minnesota.
So WCCO took a closer look at the state of our dams. There are more than 1,160 dams in the state. Some were built for flood control, others to maintain lake levels, and each has a hazard classification from low to high plus a condition.
The high hazard dams, what is the risk if one fails?
For high hazard dam, the risk of dam failing would be potential loss of life, and that would be dependent on the conditions at the dam.
So we take an in-depth look at how often dams fail and what is being done to reduce the risk. WCCO investigates the state of Minnesota dams. You can watch that tonight at 10 o'clock.